Hello students, welcome back to this channel. Today in this video we are going to see class 12 physics, first lesson electrostatics, 1 mark question and answer important points. This is the part 7 of this video series. Come on, let us see the points now. Point number 77, electrostatic potential energy of a dipole in a uniform electric field. A dipole is placed in a uniform electric field. For that we are going to calculate the electrostatic potential energy. The expression is capital U is equal to minus small p capital E cos theta, or U is equal to minus p vector dot E vector. Actually this is a long expression, a long derivation we are going to derive in future. Right now you just note down the expression itself. Next point, electric flux. What is meant by electric flux? We have already seen that electric field lines originate from a positive charge and they end at a negative charge. So, if we place a surface perpendicular to the direction of electric field lines, then the number of electric field lines passing through a given surface which is placed perpendicular to the electric field lines, that is known as electric flux. The expression for electric flux is pi is equal to E vector dot A vector. Here this E vector represents the electric field and this A vector represents the area of the surface or plane which is placed perpendicular to the electric field lines. Now this is a dot product. So what happens? Pi is equal to EA cos theta. You will be learning about this dot product and cross product in your mathematics classes in vector. Now if this E vector and A vector are in the same direction, then what will happen to the angle between them? It will become 0. So if we place 0 in the place of theta, we will get pi is equal to EA cos theta. The value of cos 0 is 1. So pi is equal to EA into 1. So pi is equal to EA. Next, the unit of electric flux. What is the unit of electric flux? Let us write the expression for pi. That is electric flux. Pi is equal to EA. Now E stands for electric field. So the unit for electric field we have already studied, that is nothing but NC power minus 1, that is Newton Coulomb power minus 1. Here A stands for area, so it is meter square. Now rearrange them. Now we will get Newton, then meter square, then Coulomb power minus 1. This is the unit for electric flux. Next point is the total electric flux over a closed surface. We have already defined electric flux. The number of electric field lines passing through a given surface which is placed perpendicular to their direction is known as electric flux. Here the total electric flux over a closed surface can be negative or positive or 0. Next one, the electric flux is negative if the electric field lines enter the closed surface, and the electric flux is positive if the electric field lines leave the closed surface. Next point, if the angle between dA vector and E vector is less than 90 degree, then the electric flux is positive. Here what is meant by this dA vector? A is nothing but the area of the closed surface. Then what about dA? dA is a small piece of that closed surface, a small part taken out of that closed surface, that is dA vector. So if the angle between this one and this one is less than 90 degree, then the electric flux is positive. At the same time, if the angle between dA vector and E vector is greater than 90 degree, then the electric flux is negative. Let us continue with the questions. Now, point number 84, the electric flux for uniform electric field. Here, three diagrams are given. In the first diagram, this is the uniform electric field because the electric field lines are parallel to one another. Here, the surface is placed perpendicular to the direction of the electric field. Now, what is the angle between the direction of the electric field and the aerial vector? This is a new term. What is meant by aerial vector? Now, this is the surface. Now, draw a perpendicular line to this surface. This is the perpendicular line and this arrowhead represents the aerial vector for this area, the surface. So now we are going to find the angle between the electric field direction and the aerial vector only, not the area, but the aerial vector. So both are there in the same direction. So what about the angle? The angle is 0. So what will happen? This is the expression for electric flux. So pi is equal to E vector dot A vector, which is written as EA cos theta, then EA cos 0. Cos 0 value is 1. So pi is equal to EA. Now look at the second diagram. Here, this is the direction of the electric field because these are the electric lines of force. So this is the direction of the electric field and the surface is placed in this manner. Now what about the aerial vector? The line which is drawn perpendicular to the area of the surface, that is called aerial vector. So this is the direction of the aerial vector over here. Now what is the angle in between electric field and the aerial vector, which is 90 degree. So what will happen here? Pi is equal to E vector dot A vector, which is written as EA cos theta, which is equal to EA cos 90. The value of cos 90 is 0. So the electric flux will become 0. In the third diagram, this surface is neither placed perpendicular nor it placed along the electric field, but it is placed at an angle. So here what will happen? The expression for electric flux is pi is equal to E vector dot A vector, which is written as EA cos theta. So pi is equal to EA cos theta. Now next point is Gauss law. This is the expression for Gauss law. Pi is equal to Q by epsilon naught. What does it mean? The Gauss law states that the electric flux over a closed surface is equal to Q by epsilon naught, which is nothing but 1 by epsilon naught into Q. So it states that the electric flux is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times the charge which is enclosed by the closed surface. This is called Gauss law. This equation is true for any arbitrary shaped surface. It doesn't mean this law holds good or which is applicable only to certain shaped surfaces, but it is applicable for any types of shaped surfaces. We'll be learning in detail about this Gauss law in future. Now just you note down that the expression for Gauss law is pi is equal to Q by epsilon naught. How it comes? It comes because 1 by epsilon naught into Q. The next one is the charge present inside the closed surface contribute to the electric flux. imagine a closed surface. The charges present only inside the closed surface gives or contribute to the electric flux. The charges present outside the closed surface do not contribute to the electric flux. Next point. The total electric flux is independent of the location of the charges inside the closed surface. It means the total electric flux does not depend upon the location of the charges inside the closed surface. It doesn't mean wherever the charges are located, the electric flux, total electric flux remains the same. Next one. The another form of Coulomb's law is Gauss law. Gauss law is nothing but another form of Coulomb's law, which we have learnt it earlier. So with this video has come to an end. Let us meet in the next video with another set of questions.
Like, share and comment and subscribe our channel and click the bell button for more videos.